Rich Laster here with GrowExpand.com. This is the Blunt on Business podcast. Welcome to season 8. Being the number one salesperson in the company you founded or the company that you're the CEO of is okay initially. You get to that $2 to $5 million space, and if you haven't made the pivot correctly to onboarding help and driving revenue growth, you're in for a really bad ride. So let's help you avoid that right after this intro. The Blunt on Business podcast is brought to you by...
You're ready to hire a sales rep. Now what? EdgeGTM.ai Sales Ops gives you everything. A sales department manual, a live dashboard, comp plan mapping, deal review scoring, rep activity guide, and weekly coaching from your own AI sales ops consultant. 1 intake, 5 outputs, 1 week. The link's in the description to watch the demo.
All right, this is Rich Laster. This is GrowExpand.com's podcast called Blunt on Business. This is our 8th season doing this. They're typically, you don't care. You have been running this business and you've gotten to that $1 to $5 million mark. And there's no way your vision for what this business could be is going to manifest if you don't get this sales hat off. But how do you do that? Founder-led sales is necessary to get to where you are. But founder-led sales doesn't get you any further. The mistake I have seen time and time again is a founder, a CEO, expects that a tenured business development professional, a sales expert, a fractional chief revenue officer is going to come in and wave some magical wand. They're going to pull out some lightsaber and defeat the evil that would thwart their revenue growth goals. And that's just not the case. As the founder, you're going to experience barely any sales cycle because you're talking to decision makers. As a decision maker for the company, they feel like they're speaking to a peer. All right, so we're looking at 2 to 4 month sales cycles typically for founders. And that's really good. Nobody is going to do that the way you do. So let's not spend too much time on all the things that get in the way of you scaling your business by positioning your revenue operations system to be scalable, right? You're not scaling if you can't count on, like a clock, revenue performance, right? So number one, what works for you? When you speak with people who you have identified have a need or a want for what you offer, is that crystallized? Is the CRM going to be able to plug a new salesperson in and they know exactly what the sales process is? This is how we confirm that they're a qualified lead. All right? This is how we confirm budget and need. This is how we get to what's under the need. Not knowing how to get beyond what they say. Oh, well, we want to accomplish. Yeah, cute. Why? We're going to take a page out of business school for a moment and look at Toyota. The founder of Toyota has created one of the greatest car companies in history by creating a methodology by which they create their engines. Their engineering team functions on the 5 whys. If you have a question, you ask why 5 times until you fully understand the answer. This is a level of curiosity that's rare, but this is a level of curiosity that is necessary for sales professionals to be successful. So as the founder, you need to take that sales hat off. You need to empower someone else with that. One, you need to start to download. All right. I always suggest journaling. Start to download how, from the time you meet someone to the time their check clears, how are you onboarding people? Okay. You meet them, you confirm a need, budget, it's a collaborative conversation on how you can help them and what they really need and want. You're smart enough to dig deeper. You're not just looking for, what they need that you can do, that surface level, that's not going to make for a long lasting, sustainable relationship. You want to know more. You want to know why they need that. All right. These are the things that founders that are successful ask. These are the things that you need to document, because we need to build your sales process around those key topics, those key questions, right? It's so important that you really understand that being the number one salesperson in a company that you lead or that you founded is not some freaking badge of honor. It's your baby. But making clear, and this is number 2, making clear to anyone joining your organization, whether they're sales or not, what separates you from your competition, why you deliver your service, your product in a way that clearly defines you as the solution for the segment of the market that you serve. Ideal client profile, ideal client profile. I can say it till I'm blue in the face. If you didn't build a business around a specific group of people that you are magically better at serving than anyone else, then maybe you've exhausted your trust fund to get to this level. Maybe this is the end of the road. Maybe you need to go back to the drawing board. But if you sincerely know who you serve, you know how you help them, you care about every interaction, then that level of service, that level of caring needs to be integrated into the sales process. It needs to be integrated into the hiring of your salespeople process. Okay, you can't onboard somebody that's a throw it at spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks kind of mindset. They have to understand that the love you show to every client, to every project, to every deal needs to be repeated. It's the key to closing business. That's it. To duplicate yourself as the number one salesperson, we need to document what works in the sales process that you use, and we need to clearly articulate the value proposition and the differentiator of what you offer to every new salesperson, sales consultant, fractional chief revenue officer coming through the door. Little add-on, if your marketing isn't yelling out to the world how your differentiator and your value proposition can change their life, can impact them, then you probably need to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'll connect you with a remarkable marketing professional, and we'll get you aimed in the right direction. This has been Rich Laster with GrowExpand.com on another episode of Blown on Business. And now for a message from our sponsor.
A bit about our company. We produce strategies and deploy experts to grow your business revenue. The success of our clients is a direct result of the 25+ years of sales and marketing experience of our founder, Rich Laster. We take the guesswork out of increasing your revenue. Our reputation is built on results, not another roll of the dice with your marketing budget. Visit growexpand.com to learn how.